Testing on. Testing, testing. One, two, three. I think we should be live, guys, for today's severe weather coverage. Today's not as big of a threat. Hey, David, the reason why I am live today, guys, the reason why I'm live today is just because this is for my area. Normally, I don't really stream 2 out of 5, but the reason why I'm live for a 2 out of 5, because it's for my area, guys. We do actually have, I'm going to get rid of all the layers so then we could just see the outlook today. Today we have a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale for majority of our viewing area. We also do have a severe thunderstorm watch has actually been in effect all the way until 9 p.m. The time frame really starts around 6 p.m. for our area. But guys, I decided to go live early just so I can cover like the whole event, and I could also cover when the storms are in Pennsylvania. Because right now the storms are near Lancaster, Reading, and Pottsville. Have about 3 severe thunderstorm warnings on these storms. These storms are pretty much heading in our viewing area near Allentown too. But some pop-ups, guys. You see, the environment's pretty favorable because look, there's some pop-ups. So we could have pop-ups ahead of these main storms today, which is also a threat too. Got a 5% chance of hail and a 15% chance of damaging winds. So overall, it's a pretty decent risk today. Let's take a look at some of these severe thunderstorm warnings that are going to be heading in our general area. Oh, this storm near Pottsville, because they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning right near Allentown. So if this thing is actually if this thing is really severe, it's going to be heading straight for Staten Island where I'm at. If this doesn't change, this is heading straight towards Staten Island in an hour and a half. What time is it? What time it's really gonna start, honestly. Right now, storms are already close to Allentown, near Reading. So I would say for the first storm, guys, there's a chance we don't even get directly hit by these storms. Because it isn't like a big line. It's more like these kind of supercellular storms, but at least they're not tornadic. That's why there's a pretty bigger hail threat. So I would say the timings. It's 4 p.m. right now. I would say in an hour and a half we could really start to see a threat. So around 6 p.m. I would say is when these storms should move in our area. Hey Grandma, 6 p.m. givers. It could be earlier, it could be later. But if we have some storms that actually pop off ahead of these main storms, that could also be a chance to. The ingredients are pretty good, guys. In Staten Island, we have 1,000 cape. So anything 500 cape or more could really sustain a thunderstorm. Even 2,000 in some areas in Pennsylvania. But we gotta really see. And they actually just issued a special, issued a special marine warning up here. So these storms are starting to fire off, guys. I'm gonna go on radar because these storms. This thing actually, that's interesting. This storm in northern Maryland has a little bit of rotation. So that is interesting. A little bit of rotation on the storm near in Maryland right now. David, if you're still in the stream, you could join my stream if you want. Take a look at the severe thunderstorm warnings up here because these are the main storms that could be heading into the New York City region. I'm mainly concerned about these storms. We already have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings near Allentown, so kind of about an hour, 10 minutes away. Well, around 6 p.m. Thanks for that information. Yeah, around 6 p.m. should be where it really starts. Maybe 5:30 the earliest. 5:30 the earliest, most likely. These storms are actually fairly strong. There is some hail on these storms too. So you gotta see if these storms are gonna weaken or gonna mature when they head towards the New York City area. There's a chance these storms could just go south of us and miss us too. Chance they could hit more freeholds, Point Pleasant, that they could go just south of us. You know how many times that happened in Staten Island where the storm just goes south or north of us? They just issued two new severe thunderstorm warnings for these storms here. A little bit of rotation, not gonna lie. So a good amount of these storms near Allentown are actually severe thunderstorm warned. So that is always concerning heading towards our viewing area. So we've got to see how that plays out. And the more time this takes before the sun goes down, the more tape we're gonna have in our area. So if these storms take longer to get here, that could actually be a worst case scenario, a more worst case scenario for us in New York City because that the environment's gonna take means the environment's gonna start to get better and better and better. So do gotta monitor the situation. A little bit of hail. Like these storms also have a decent amount of hail. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna take a storm track, see where the general direction of this. So these storms aren't moving the fastest. Let's see. How fast are these storms moving? Moving east at 30 miles an hour. So not the most fast. These storms aren't moving that fast, guys. At 30 miles an hour. So yeah, these storms could be moving faster, honestly. Most times, severe thunderstorms move at like 60 miles an hour, 40, 60, but still not that. Still gotta watch out. Check if there's any pop-up storms that decide to form. Some storms up here. Some storms north of New York City right now that are starting to pop off too. You gotta watch out for these storms. Right now we have one, two, three, four, five severe thunderstorm warnings that are heading for our general viewing area. So I am watching out. You got that? Let me read that severe thunderstorm watch actually. This watch is effective until 9 p.m. Threat, scattered damaging wind gusts to 70 miles an hour likely if you get hit. Isolated large hail, 1 inch possible. So there's a chance for some hail too, guys. Severe thunderstorm watch is approximately along 55 miles. Wow. Scattered thunderstorm will develop eastward across the watch area this afternoon and evening. They did recently issue a mesoscale discussion here. A mesoscale discussion basically means almost like a mesoscale discussion, guys, almost means like an update on like what's currently going on. So that's the most recent update we got. It's a summary. Potential for damaging winds, thus an isolated large hail is increasing. Of course, severe thunderstorm watching will expand downstream at this afternoon slash evening. Listen, convection convergence has increased along the watch the past 1 2 hours. More storms are forming. Force of wind and upscale growth is expected. As you can see, guys, what also is interesting, guys, they go on SPC meso analysis. They go on SPC meso analysis. The cap, guys, the cap that prevented these storms from forming in the beginning is actually almost fully broken now. So that cap is almost fully broken. So that's why we're having so much more storms that are forming. What does this person say? I got a new chatter. Thank you. I gotta translate this real quick. I think he's talking about hurricane season. Let's talk about hurricane season. But as you can see, guys, if you live in the Staten Island, New York City, New Brunswick, Flemington, Trenton, these storms should be approaching you eventually. Probably within the next hour and a half, you guys are gonna most likely get hit by these storms. They could be below, or they could be kind of severe limits. Really depends. I'm seeing storms honestly starting to pop off ahead of the main storms near Chester, near Swedeboro, and near Kennett Square. I call these little storms, guys. I call these little storms popcorn cells. So we're starting to get these little popcorn cells that are starting to form. Prime example. So, like, guys, we may get the thunderstorms earlier if some popcorn storms start to pop up. If you just storm near Green Lane, a few scans ago, this thing was barely doing anything. Now it's starting. So you gotta watch out for one of these pop-ups start to get going into doing something maybe possibly severe. We are monitoring every single one of these storms. With some wind damage associated to some of these storms. Sometimes the storms like to weaken though as they get to Staten Island. That is also a common occurrence sometimes. Sometimes the storms like to weaken when they get into the New York City area. But a good amount of hail, some hail on these storms too, so that is interesting. Almost 1 inch size hail in some of these storms. But you see what I mean? The cat,
Tornado warning for
tornado. Oh,
northwestern Kanawha County in central West
Virginia.
Virginia, east central
You gotta
Putnam
take a look
County
at
in
that
western
real
West
quick.
Virginia.
You must say, I thought there was gonna be a tornado. Imagine if there was a tornado warning here. That I would actually be insane. I'm gonna take a look at it though. Yeah, I do see some rotation on this storm, honestly. Pretty big risk today. A lot of severe thunderstorm warnings getting issued in Pennsylvania now. These storms will be moving into our viewing area soon. As you can see, these storms are really starting to pop off. A little bit of storms ahead are starting to pop off. So I am watching out for discrete storms that are like I'm looking at northern New Jersey right now, and a lot of these popcorn cells are forming. Another popcorn cell is forming near Hateford. So near Harleysville, near Green Lane. This is the main pop-up storms I'm watching out for. We do also gotta watch out for these are the main storms here that are developing, pushing through there. I don't see any rotation. There's no tornado threat today, so it would be highly unlikely if we actually do get some sort of warning today, but tornado warning. That's most likely good news. That's most likely not gonna happen. It is getting here in New York City, it is getting a little more cloudy. So you maybe a pop-up storm could be forming, possibly. That could actually happen though. What's crazy is, guys, a pop-up storm could just pop up on, like, it could just randomly just pop up on radar. These storms are moving at 30 miles an hour, so not the most fastest storms, but still there. I'm checking the hourly forecast real quick. I want to know when these storms are gonna mainly impact my region. Currently 92 degrees. Yeah, it says around 6 p.m. these storms. At 7 p.m. we have 100% chance of thunderstorms. So that this is going to be a very interesting day. More very interesting evening tonight, honestly. Take a look at this radar site. See if it's a little different. Yankee game could potentially get postponed tonight. Rain delay at the very least, likely. Look at all these popcorn cells that are getting themselves together, guys. Near Patterson, I'm watching out for a lot of these storms. Hold on, this could be a potential outflow boundary forming near Tom's River. This could potentially be possible outflow boundary. So that could mean storms could potentially start to develop. Potentially. And it might just be a radar glitch. Well, these storms near Philadelphia are really starting to get their act together. These little storms starting to actually kind of get their act together. So if these storms want to start to do something, that is possible. These storms could go severe thunderstorm warning in the future. So near Reading, we do have severe thunderstorm warning in effect near Birdsboro and Frying Hills. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning up here too. I'm gonna put a storm track on this storm. Yeah, this storm's heading straight for Allentown, guys. I want to say there's a new severe thunderstorm warning. So far, no current warnings in our viewing area yet. But that's likely gonna change as the actually technically we have a special marine warning right now. Oh, is this another popcorn cell that wants to form right now? Near Tylertown. A lot of these storms are, these popcorn cells are like pushing north, honestly, east. This could be another storm that pops up. These storms are also starting to rapidly start to fire off right now. The ingredients are their 1,000 K, good instability, good dew points. That, guys, a few, like early in the morning was actually a 1 out of 5 this event. What about the cap? The cap is broken now. The cap broke now. Oh, the cape, it's 1,000 joules. It's 1,000 joules per kilogram in our area. Pennsylvania, it's around 2,000, 1,500. In our area, it's about 1,300. So the cape is pretty decent, honestly. This could start to go down though as the night goes on. So that is a possibility. Still a while till these storms impact New York City. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I'm still watching out for these storms to potentially produce hail, honestly, in the future. New severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Texas. So that's interesting. Yeah, the cap is broken, guys, now. Look at these storms that are firing off. Look at these guys. Look at all these storms that are actually firing off in southern Pennsylvania and parts of southern Jersey, near Westchester in Pennsylvania. I think new severe thunderstorm warning. David, would you want to join my live stream if you want? I don't think I'm streaming that much longer, honestly. I wish I could. Yeah, right now we're in monitoring mode because a lot of these cells are popping up. Two burnout from last night from my. Oh yeah, that. Sorry I couldn't join you last night. I was kind of busy last night. Guys, there's about almost 1 inch size hail on this storm, heading pretty close to Allentown, guys. Pretty close to Allentown. Pretty close to Allentown. We do have 1 inch size hail about heading for your area. But that's kind of heading pretty close to. That's gonna almost head towards me in the New York City. So possibly I could potentially maybe see. Much if I get 1 inch hail tonight, that would be insane, guys. I don't think that's happening though. I don't think that's happening though. As you could see though, a lot of these popcorn storms that are forming up near Greenland. Oh, that's a new storm. Look at this, guys. This storm barely did anything, and now it just randomly started firing off. This is a big sign, guys, that capping inversion actually broke and is gone. That is a good sign that the capping inversion broke. Guys, have any questions in the chat? Feel free to let me know. 6 people watching. Thank you, guys. We haven't had 6 people watching in a while. But the good news is, though, about this event, we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about much a tornado threat. We don't have to watch out for really a tornado threat because 0%. I mean, isolated chance is always possible. You can't rule nothing out guaranteed. But it's very unlikely we're not going to have a tornado threat today. As you can see, some storms popping off in Long Island right now. I do see some storms starting to pop off near Plainview, but you got to watch out for these storms. Yeah, what north to south or west, just near West Town. I'm watching out for these storms. I have a theory, guys. Maybe if these storms could always potentially, like, as they get into New York City area, there's a chance, I mean, there's a chance they could collide into each other and kind of form a line. That is always a possibility to happen. Why do I see some rotation starting to develop on these storms? That's interesting. Not much, though. I'm just saying. It's a little interesting. These are severe storms heading for New Jersey, guys. If you live in New Jersey, The whole state of New Jersey, you guys have to be weather aware tonight. All of Jersey, you guys have to be weather aware tonight. For mainly damaging winds and isolated hail possible. Isolated hail possible too. Let's see. Alright, hail went down on the storm, so that's good news. The hail is starting to go down. That is good news, guys. The storm is gonna head straight towards Allentown, maybe just north of Allentown. That's a possibility. Sorry guys, I'm a little boring. It's because it's not really as much. The only reason I wouldn't be live streaming this if it wasn't for my area. Just saying, guys. Could have, honestly, in the New York area, could have a good amount of rain on the backside of these severe thunderstorm warnings. We're likely gonna have also rain on the backside. Thunderstorms. What question do you guys have? Like, if you guys have any questions, honestly, let me know. Thank you guys for the 4 likes on the stream. Really appreciate it. Watching out for these 2 popcorn storms. I am watching out, guys, for these popcorn storms that are going to be popping up. We also don't really have any rotation, guys, but I am concerned for the storms near Reading, near Frying Hills, and Birdsboro. Sorry if I butchered that, but yeah, we gotta watch out for this. It's a little different. Today's a little bit of a different setup, guys. We've been going live for so many tornado threats. It's the first event we like didn't cover in a while. That's like not a tornado threat at all. Guys, not even a 2% chance of tornadoes today. So that is the great news. You gotta watch out for that hail though. Hail and winds. Take a 3D of the storm just to say. Think it could form a line? There's a chance it could form a line, honestly. There's a chance it could if these storms interact, like if they get real like close to each other, they could potentially form a line heading for our area. Or it could actually be kind of more like a discrete supercell type deal. Because if it's that, then it will be more of a hail threat. There's no storms really that much in front of that, so we wouldn't really have like the environment is not really gonna get weaker. It's like no rain showers are moving. It's really only gonna get stronger, guys. It is cloudy now, so it's a little less cape that's gonna be getting more. So it's probably gonna max out potentially now. Even if it maxes out at 1,000 cape, that's still not that bad for severe weather. These storms are moving very slow, though, guys. These storms aren't moving very fast, just saying. How's the live? Just testing it real quick. How's the live? Alright, audio's good, so that's good news. Ooh, look at that storm up here near White Plains. This is one of those pop-up storms. One of those pop-up storms that pretty much just started to get going a few minutes ago. So, it's not going to be heading in the New York City area, but it's going to be heading near New City in upstate New York. Northern Jersey, too. Oh, thank you guys for 5 viewers. But the thing is, like, it's not as much to talk about, honestly. That's the one downside to these type of events, you know? Like it's just a little harder to, like, talk about, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's no you know what I'm saying, guys? It's like there's no rotation. The only product you can really look at is honestly the hail and then the normal reflectivity. The storm is strengthening on the birds burrow, heading to Trenton eventually. See a shelf cloud today. Honestly, it's not that type of setup. See, maybe if it forms a line, but as of now, it's not really that type of a setup. See a shelf cloud. New severe thunderstorm warning for Poachtown, Collegeville, and Green Lane. Guys, there's still a chance these storms could go north or south in New York City and completely miss the city. That is always a risk here. I'm gonna check the cap real quick. If the cap is fully gone now. A little bit of a cap, but it's not much, honestly. Not much of a cap. It's only for, like, I think Staten Island, a little bit of a cap. So the chance the storms might weaken as it gets to Staten Island. I'm not even gonna lie, New York City, but that cap's probably gonna dissipate by the time these storms get here. So the whole area was under a cap this morning, a heavy cap this morning, the whole area. Sun's back out a little. I'm gonna almost 1 inch size hail. This is heading pretty much straight towards Trenton, guys. A little bit of a hail core might be starting to develop. That's interesting. It's heading for Town. Look at this random storm that just started to pop up ahead of this storm. That's interesting. I think I'm going to end it now. I might be back later. Peace out.